So today we are going to be talking about noun clauses. As we know, a clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb, and it usually has a marker or a subordinator. The markers for noun clauses are how, that, and lots of W words. Who, which, when, where, etc. So those are the words that will be starting the noun clause. And a noun clause is just a clause that takes the place of a noun. So the normal sentence in English goes subject, verb, object. I kicked the ball. And if you want to know what the object is, I think most people are more familiar with subjects and verbs. You can ask verb what? I kicked what? I kicked the ball. Out of these, two of them are nouns. Subject and object are both nouns. So the first type of noun clause is taking the place of the subject. It's a subject noun clause. So here we have an example. That he kicked the ball is obvious. And so we can see, we have our marker here, that he kicked the ball. So that's the subject. That whole entire clause takes the place of that subject, which is a noun. Is the verb, and obvious is the object, or also, in this case, it's the subject complement, which we'll talk about later on. So that's the first example. Same thing, but instead of taking the place of the subject, we're taking the place of the object in an object noun clause. I know that he kicked the ball. So I is the subject, know is the verb, and that he kicked the ball, we got our marker, is the object. So that entire clause takes the place of the object in that sentence. The next two are pretty easy. They're easy to find in the sentence because they come after a specific word. The first one comes after an adjective. This is noun clauses that are modified by an adjective. It is clear that he kicked the ball. So clear is your adjective right there. That is your marker. Your noun clause is that he kicked the ball. These clauses modified by an adjective almost always come right after an adjective, such as clear, quickly, etc. The next one comes right after a preposition. They're called noun clauses that are the object of a preposition, not to be confused with just object, or also called object of the verb. So object of the preposition comes right after a preposition. The ball is not responsible for how the boy kicked. So the preposition in that sentence we know is for, and prepositions are words like for, about, around, above, behind, from, and we have the marker how, and the clause is how the boy kicked. The ball is not responsible for, right after it, how the boy kicked. The last one is very similar to the object of a verb, but it's called subject complement. So if we find the marker, that, the problem is that he kicks so hard. So that's the noun clause. And you would think that this is the object, right? Subject, verb, object. But because the verb is a being verb, which being verbs are usually are, am, is, was, were, etc. If you have that verb, this noun, this object noun clause is called a subject complement because it's complementing the subject. That he kicks so hard is the problem. They're the same. So just remember, if you have a being verb, that the object is actually not an object, but a subject complement. So this is just the 5 most common types of noun clauses.